So welcome back to my next class. We have started the reading and explanation of the Black Aeroplane. In my previous class of the Black Aeroplane, I had told you the story in nutshell, and I had started reading an explanation of the text as we usually do in classroom situation. Today we are going to read and explain the remaining part of the Black Aeroplane. First, in the first class of the Black Aeroplane, we discussed up to that the pilot who was flying back to England, he has started his flight at 1:30 a.m. In night, and he was very much happy because as soon as he get back to London, to England, he would get few days holiday, and he was very much cheerful that after getting back to London, he would have his hearty big English breakfast. He would have time to spend with his family members, and so far when he was flying, he also got the clearance from the air traffic control of Paris airport, and he was flying very smoothly, and he was enjoying, and he told that it was an easy flight, and that in the previous class also I told that it was not an easy flight. So what has happened in the rest of the part? Let's start. So start from the page number 37 from this paragraph. Paris was about 150 kilometers behind me when I saw the cloud. So he crossed Paris 150 kilometers away. Paris was. Then immediately when he started his flight, it was clear sky, there was not a bit of cloud in the sky, but when he crossed Paris, he talked with that air traffic controller of Paris. There is also not so problem there. There was not a problem there in that time also. But when he crossed Paris and came forward 150 kilometers away from Paris airport, now he saw for the first time that when I saw the cloud, storm clouds, being a pilot, he could know that these storm clouds would be very much dangerous. They were huge. They looked like black mountains standing in front of me across the sky. Huge cloud was there in front of him, and the cloud was as if there is a mountain standing in the sky in front of that Dakota 088 aeroplane. I knew I could not fly up and over them, and I did not have enough fuel to fly around them to the north or south. So his condition is very tight. He did not have other option left. He knew that the cloud was so huge that he could not go over it, up this cloud, or he could not go around the cloud, because he could not actually, for avoiding this cloud, he could not go in other direction because fuel was not enough in the tank. Because already we know that when he was crossing Paris airport, he switched on to that second and last fuel tank of this flight. I ought to go back to Paris, I thought, but I wanted to get home. I wanted that breakfast. At time it came to his mind that seeing this dangerous cloud in front of him, he was thinking that he should get back to Paris airport, he should land safely to the Paris airport, but at the same time he was thinking, no, I should get back very quickly to his home, because he was very much eager to have that breakfast with other family members. I will take the risk, I thought, and flew that old Dakota straight into the storm. So pilot was very strong-hearted, very brave. Without thinking much, he had taken the risk. He entered actually into that stormy clouds. Inside the clouds, everything was suddenly black. See how the suspense has been created here. The pilot with that aeroplane, he entered the mountain of clouds. Inside the clouds, everything was suddenly black. It was impossible to see anything outside the aeroplane. The old aeroplane jumped and twisted in the air. I looked at the compass. Now he entered into the cloud, and nothing was visible. The visibility was zero. Nothing was visible. We know that in news we see that in the winter time, when it's very smoggy weather there, very fog there, then the flight being cancelled because there was no visibility there. Okay, so in that condition also, when he entered into that mountain of clouds, then also he could not see anything. The visibility was zero. I looked at the compass. I couldn't believe my eyes. The compass was turning round and round and round. So the pilot also used compass to see which direction he was flying. He looked at the compass, but he was surprised. The compass was the hands of the compass. It's moving round and round and round. Means it has become out of order. It has gone out of order. It was dead. This compass was dead. It would not work. The other instruments were suddenly dead too. I tried the radio, other instruments that were very much required for a pilot for safe flying. The other instruments that were on that or in the cockpit, these were all became out of order. These have all gone out of order. I tried the radio. Paris control, can you hear me? The narrator was very much panicked. He was very much excited. Yes, it is true that he had taken the risk, but he did not know what would be the condition. Now he could feel that how tough the condition was. The visibility was zero. He could not see anything outside that plane. So it would be very tough to fly these. And not only that, he actually was very much confused that in which direction he was flying, because the compass was not working. Not only that, other instruments that were very much required for the safe flight also all have stopped working, and his condition is very tough. He has come in the grim situation. Still he was trying through that radio, he was trying his best to communication, to start communication with Paris control, Paris air traffic control. Paris control, can you hear me? There was no answer. The radio was dead too. I had no radio, no compass, and I could not see where I was. See, we can understand that, yes, we can understand that in which tough condition the narrator was, the pilot was caught. I was lost in the storm. If it is on the road that he has been lost, it's the other way, but he has been lost in the mid-sky. Understand, in the mid-sky where he could not stop his engine. Okay, so we can imagine this. Then the black clouds quite near me, I saw another airplane. See the picture in page number 38. See the picture, that then in the black clouds quite near me I saw another airplane. It had no lights on its wings, but I could see it flying next to me through the storm, as you could see in the picture also. Now narrator, as if it's a blessing of God, that it came very near. This our narrator could see from the cockpit that it was a black aeroplane, another black aeroplane our narrator could see, and there was no light in that aeroplane, no light in that in the wings of this aeroplane, and it was flying very near to our narrator's plane, that is DS 088 Dakota. Then in the black clouds that I read, okay, I could see the pilot's face turned towards me. Sitting in his cockpit, he could see that the pilot of that black aeroplane means it didn't have any light on his wings, so that pilot was moving his face to our narrator. I was very glad to see another person. He lifted one hand and waved, as if he lifted and waved, means as if he was trying to give him that very much optimistic thinking, that I am with you. Okay, so don't be afraid of. Follow me, he was saying. Follow me, and he was as if he was saying. The pilot of that aeroplane, as if he was saying to our narrator, he was instructing to our narrator, follow me. He knows that I am lost, I thought. He's trying to help me. Our narrator also realized, yes, that pilot realized that he had been lost in that dark storm cloud, and that is why he was trying to help him. He turned his aeroplane slowly to the north, in front of my Dakota, and he came very slowly. He came just in front of the plane Dakota, which our pilot was flying, so that it would be easier for me to follow him. So this pilot was very much helpful. He came in front of our narrator's plane, okay, so that narrator could follow that black aeroplane very easily. I was very happy to go behind the strange aeroplane like an obedient child. So our narrator did not have any other option was with him, because he had to follow, because nothing is visible there. But as the now question may come, you may ask question that yes sir, that it is told that nothing is visible, so how could the aeroplane, how could the pilot see that black aeroplane? Because the narrator himself, the pilot has himself told that this is nothing is visible outside this aeroplane. Two options over there. I will tell you the answer, that as our narrator used the word very near, means that aeroplane was flying very near to our to the narrator's plane. Okay, another answer is there. I will tell you at the end of this story. After half an hour, the strange black aeroplane was still there in front of me in the clouds. For half an hour, our narrator just followed the aeroplane, because other things were not visible to him. Now there was only enough fuel in the old Dakota's last tank to fly over for 5 or 10 minutes more. As I told, after flying another half an hour, half an hour in air flight means it could cover a lot of distance. Okay, lot of distance. Half an hour means it could cover a lot of distance. So after flying this distance, our narrator again started to be very much panicked, that he now could see that not enough fuel was left. I was starting to feel frightened again, but then he started to go down and I followed through the storm. Then when our narrator again started to very much frightened that what would happen after 10 minutes, because only 5 or 10 minutes fuel was left with that fuel. This is the last tank we have already discussed. Another tank fuel was exhausted. Now at that time the black aeroplane started to calm down, and we know that when a aeroplane started to calm down means they came near to that runway of any airport. Suddenly I came out of the clouds and saw 2 long straight lines of lights in front of me. As still darkness was there, so our narrator came out of the cloud. It was again weather outside this cloud, and I saw 2 long straight lines of lights. 2 long straight lines of light means this is the runway. This is the runway. It was a runway, an airport. I was saved. I turned to look for my friend in the black aeroplane, but the sky was empty. So immediately our narrator was very much thankful, very much grateful to the pilot of that black aeroplane. So immediately when our narrator saw that the runway is in front of him, he immediately turned back to see that pilot of the black aeroplane, because he wanted to give him thanks, because for him only he was saved in that journey. But he saw the sky was empty. There was nothing there. The black aeroplane was gone. I could not see it anywhere. This is strange. The black aeroplane gone. Where had this black aeroplane gone? I landed and was not sorry to walk away from the old Dakota near the control tower. I landed and was not sorry to walk away from the old Dakota near the control tower. So our narrator safely landed the old Dakota, and he was very happy to go to the control tower, because his life was in a very risky position. He was going to die in the stormy cloud. So he was very happy to come away from this aeroplane where he had landed it. And he went straight to the control tower. I went and asked a woman in the control center where I was and who the other pilot was. I wanted to say thank you. Our narrator went there. You could see the picture. Yes, this is the pilot, and our narrator was asking to a lady who was sitting in the office in the control tower, and he was very much interested to know that who was the other pilot of the black aeroplane. Another aeroplane. And our narrator told that I wanted to give him thanks. She looked at me very strangely and then laughed. That girl who was sitting in the tower office, in the traffic control tower, she just looked at our narrator, and suddenly she started to laugh. Another aeroplane. Up there in the storm, another aeroplane. In the stormy weather. No other aeroplanes were flying tonight. Yours was the only one I could see on the radar. So the girl was sitting there in the traffic tower. She just confirmed our narrator that no other aeroplane was there. It was only his aeroplane that was flying in that stormy weather. Strange. So, who helped me to arrive there safely without a compass or a radio and without any more fuel in my tanks? Now, this question came to our pilot's mind, to our narrator's mind, that who is that other pilot? Who saved him from this green scenario, from this, direst situation? From the direst situation that without not fuel was left, there was no visibility, he could not see anything. So like this, who was the pilot on the strange black aeroplane flying in the storm without lights? The question, the story comes to an end with this question mark. So this is also features of our story as well, that who is that other pilot who was who had saved him in this stormy weather. The question comes, as if I know the question is there, that who do you think helped the narrator? I am reading this question, is very important, page number 40, that who do you think helped the narrator to reach safely? Discuss among yourselves and give reasons for your answer. Thinking about the text, question number 1, 2, 3, 4, you can make it from the text, but this is 5. Question number 5, I am telling you. The question also will come in our mind, that who is that aeroplane, who is that pilot of that black aeroplane, who saved the narrator of this pilot. I am telling you that the answer should be that there was no such black aeroplane was there in the sky. It is the imagination of our narrator that who could see that aeroplane, black aeroplane was flying in front of his aeroplane. Because as I told you that nothing was visible outside, so how could he see the black aeroplane outside his plane? Actually, it is his own determination. Actually, it is his own hopefulness, his own tenacity, his own capability, his own mental ability and optimistic attitude that helped him to fly safely through the stormy cloud. No such aeroplane was there. No such black aeroplane was there. Because we know if any other aeroplane was there, it must be traced by the radar. But the pilot was told that no such aeroplane was there. Yes, it is true. No such aeroplane was there. It was our minds, it was the imagination of our pilot that we could see as if somebody was helping me to get out of that stormy cloud. Actually, this is his own self. This is his inner self that actually helped him to get out of that stormy cloud. And it came in his imagination. This is the creation of his imagination. And because of this imagination, as if he could see a black aeroplane was flying in front of him. Okay, up to this, so we had completed this chapter also. We had completed chapter number 3, the second chapter, the second story, the black aeroplane, we had also completed. So you keep on asking questions. If you have any queries, keep on asking questions. And again, a few students are asking that when I will discuss about this exercise question. I am telling you that these exercise questions will be very simple for all of you. You just keep trying to make your answer of your own. And if you have any queries, just ask me question. I feel you have you must have seen that e-portal. In my portal, some of your friends also asked question. I am telling you, you also ask me question every day. You keep on asking question. Everybody keep me asking. Ask question to me, and I will be there with my answer. If you have any problem, no, I feel there will be no problem. So be very safe. Be very optimistic. And don't be disheartened that what would happen, because this year next year you are going to appear in the board exam. I am telling you, nothing would happen. This pandemic will have no effect on the preparation. So be very optimistic, be very positive, keep doing your work, keep enjoying these e-learning classes, e-classes, and it would be, I hope, every scenario will be again. It will be normal very soon, and very soon we will meet again in the classroom situation. So today, up to this, In my next class, I will be coming with a new chapter from class 10 English. Bye bye.